All right, I'll just wait here for a minute, see if we get anybody, and I'm gonna start a repair so you can watch. You can watch from the beginning, or you can start right here. Let's see if I can get a better angle on this, like that. All right, welcome. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments. I'm gonna do a repair. Here we are. I may adjust the camera angle in a minute, but I'm gonna go ahead and get started. I'll go ahead and tell you guys what's going on. People who can catch up. So a few days ago, I was working on the Jeep project and I was looking for a few things and had to go to the junkyard. So, hey, what's going on, Colby? We're just gonna fix the car here. So when I took this to the junkyard a few days ago, it comes to get into the junkyard, you go off this super steep hill and you have to turn real sharp right. And I was doing that. The axle's been messed up for a while. I know that because under heavy acceleration, the axle will actually vibrate. The car will vibrate under acceleration. So I was going to the junkyard, turned real sharp and figured I'd just gas it through that corner and heard a big old clunk in the axle here, and I was afraid I wouldn't make it home. It was a pretty stressful drive, so I'm gonna go ahead and replace that axle. I've got the replacement here. If you guys have any questions, it's gonna be a pretty relaxed repair. If you want to stick around and ask questions, people keep asking for a Q&A video, so figured this would be perfect. I'm gonna go ahead and just log into my computer here so I can see the comments a little easier, and we'll get started. All right, Mr. Betnator, out of all car brands, which would you say is the most reliable besides Toyota? And then just another, hey, what's up? Love the channel. Okay, so favorite car brand, Nissan probably. I worked for Nissan, so just one of my favorites. My first truck was a Nissan. So that's what I would go with if I had to choose. One day I hope to build something cool with a Nissan, but maybe like a GTR or something. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and jack this car up, and we'll get the tire off and get started. And I'll answer a few more questions. Hopefully this goes by pretty quick. I'm prepared. I've got all my tools set out here. So we'll see. Stick around as long as you like. It's just me today. My kids and wife went to the grocery store just a minute ago. So Mac's not here helping. New green jack. Tire off and get a jack stand, and let's check on any other comments. Let's see, we got what's going on. What's your opinion on the 5.7 Hemi? I like Hemis. I think they're overhyped just for the word Hemi. Okay, but yeah, Hemis are cool. I almost picked up a project recently with a Hemi, so that would have been cool, but I'm not going to do that. Somebody asked they're 23 and starting to do work on the side. What's a few tips? My first tip is to do work just on the side when you're getting started. It's a great way to grow like a customer base if you're thinking about transitioning into doing this full time, or just to see if it works for you. And my other tip would probably have to be for somebody starting. What's a great tip? Don't buy expensive tools. Just buy the cheapest tool that you need to do the job. This off and I'll look at another question. Jack stand, and we'll go up a little bit higher with this jack so I can get that axle up there pretty easy. Don't know if it's gonna be much easier like that, we'll see. All right, I'll leave that jack touching just in case. Let's check out another question. So I probably won't be able to see all these questions. I'm just by myself. Apologies. Oh yeah, the Daytona jack's awesome, Justin. I totally recommend it. Yeah, I do jobs for family and friends for free, whoever asked that. If they need it, if they can afford it, I'll always charge them. But if somebody's just in a pinch, like my brother, I'll go help him out all the time for free. So yeah, I'd be willing to do that. Okay, this is a 36mm axle nut. I'm gonna go ahead and get that axle nut socket real quick. Here's my, oh, that's not the tool that I'm looking for. Let me grab the phone. You can look for the axle nut kit with me. I don't think this is it. No, that's a radiator test kit. I'll answer a question while I do this. Let's see. Is 30 too old to become an auto tech? No, not at all. I don't think it's the best. Here it is. Here. I don't think it's the best career choice as a career to become an auto tech. I think if you like cars and you're passionate about cars, you become an automotive engineer. But 30 is not too old. You got your whole life ahead of you. I'm almost 30. I just got out of school. Let me put this back in its little holder there. Okay, so axle nut sockets, here's my tip on axle nut sockets. I always use 6-point sockets unless they're like 36mm, but some axle nuts are actually 12 points. And if you buy a 6-point axle nut socket, like I did, then you'll show up on the job one day to a 12-point axle nut. And you'll have to go get a 12-point axle nut kit, so just get a 12-point kit. That's my tip of the day. Always open it upside down. I think it's 36, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. Okay, I'll get ready to zip this off and another question. What are my thoughts on the Chrysler 300? They look kind of cool. They look like fake Bentleys or something. I've worked on one. It wasn't fun to work on. I've never heard anything about their reliability, so I wouldn't call them reliable, but I don't know if they're unreliable. Not my favorite car. Chrysler 300 is pretty cool though. Not the worst for sure. Okay. With this axle nut, just to make sure this axle isn't seized in there, I'm gonna hit this socket here instead of the nut so I don't bend that or the thread's on there. So I just wanna make sure this is gonna kick back out of the way from my purse here. That'll move. That's fine. Okay, let me show you what I'm gonna do here and then I'll answer another question. Underneath this, I'm gonna have to remove the lower ball joint, and underneath the lower control arm here, I'm gonna pop this out, and then I'm gonna remove this, oh, where's my finger? There, lower strut bolt, and we should be able to just pop that strut out and get the axle out. If the axle is gonna fight me on the way out, I'll just stop and answer a few questions. But if it comes out and the other one goes in pretty easy, then I should be able to finish the whole video in about 30 minutes, I think. So let's see, and let's find another question. Sorry, I'm not gonna be able to see all these questions. It's just me. Let's see, Ernesto Gonzalez. Ernesto, me gusta tu nombre. Hey Ernest, I've decided that since the industry is shifting towards all electric that I should pursue electrical engineering. What's your take on the auto repair market in the future? I've thought the same thing, but I don't know if electrical engineering is the way I would go. I would just pay more attention to how to repair electric vehicles. They are not gonna need to be as repaired as often as gasoline or internal combustion engines, but if you like working on cars, there'll still be a market for that. People are still gonna drive cars and they're still gonna crash and they're still gonna break, just not as much because there's less components, less stuff to break. Okay, when I take out bolts on suspension components, I always twist the bolt itself and not the nut. So many times I've taken the nut off and the bolt's been seized in there with a little bit of rust. So I always put my impact on the bolt itself to get it spinning so it'll come out nice and easy when I'm done. Like this here. Be jealous, Rust Belt mechanics. Tough job y'all have. All right, one more. Did I graduate from college? No, I didn't. I have a few classes left. I can finish online within 7 years if I want to. I just need to take a few random credits to get my degree, but I've done everything I wanted to do to study at the college itself. So I'm done now being tied to this town of Provo, and I can finish school whenever in the next 7 years, wherever. So that's my plan. All right, pop this off, and that lower ball joint. I'm gonna rip the lower ball joint off through the cotter pin because I hate dealing with rusty cotter pins. I'll just replace it when I'm done. Except for that one's probably not going to be a socket on there. Let's see. I'll show you what it's like in a second. Oh yeah, that'll go on. Should be fine. And let me answer one more question after I get this on. Yeah, school's fun, but definitely done with that. All right, it's the wrong size. Let me get that cotter pin out and answer a question while I do that. We need a jack. Who's we, Mike? Safety jack? Yeah, there's a jack sitting under there, Mike. No worries. Most people don't see him in the videos. It's hiding just behind. I'm not gonna turn that other tire. It's just hiding right back there. Thanks though, I appreciate the concern for safety. Let me figure out how to get this lower ball joint off. Here's what I'm looking at. Just a rusty cotter pin I'll probably have to take out. There. Sometimes I'll just put my impact on there and rip them off and cut them, but I guess I didn't want to do that today. All right. Yeah, Mike, there you go. Let's see. Oh yeah, recommended scan tool for a DIYer budget. I just made a short for a scan tool that I like for the DIY level. But if you're talking like deep hobby DIY, probably just any of those launch ones that are like this big, not the huge one, that's like a professional tool, but maybe not the little ones like they have at AutoZone. So just an intermediate one. I've made some videos about them. Most of them work the exact same, so just pick one that you like. Okay, so now what? This cotter pin got to go. All right, let me get some pliers. That thing's twisty bent. All right, here's my plier drawer. Right here. I'll answer another question. Let's see, if you had to replace a customer's engine, would you choose to rebuild it or get a new used one? If I had to replace a customer's engine, which I have in the past, and I wouldn't do it anymore, I don't know, I just used whatever they provided. I didn't offer any guarantees or anything, so I would say like, I'll replace it for you, but if it doesn't work, it's not my engine. And that always worked out fine, but every time I ended up doing an engine replacement, it ended up taking way longer than it should have. So, especially as a mobile mechanic, I don't do that anymore. All right, cotter pin, come on. Oh, there she goes. Man, I hate cotter pins. I just feel like you should use those kinds that clip out real easy all the time. This one should come out. There it is. All right, let's take that lower ball joint off. See if I can get it off by smashing a knuckle with a hammer this time. Get that impact out in front of there. Can I turn that now? All right, I'm gonna grab a pickle fork and answer a question. I think I have some over here. I'll be right back. All right, they're not over there. I just moved them yesterday somewhere. Come with me. All right. Are they up in the pickle fork spot? No, they're in the front of the truck. Truck's kind of messy. But I don't keep it super clean anyways. Let's find a question to answer. Yeah, someone feels like the car should be higher. I don't know. I don't have a lift. What do you want me to do about that? I want it to be higher too. That being said, if you want to donate, the link's in the description. My plan is in the next year to move somewhere and get a shop and buy a lift, so that will help out. But for right now, I gotta make enough money to pay rent on Monday, so I'm not worried about a lift. That's off. It's pretty fun. Thanks for fixing my wife's car with me this Saturday. Poke that axle all the way out. I think we have a new axle nut, yeah. Right there. Tap on that one, I'm not worried. And might not be quite enough to get that out. Let me grab a punch. I don't want to bend that. Take that bolt. Alright. There's the punches. And let's find a question. Poor Jacob. Sorry, Jacob. I may have misunderstood your question. Hey, look, iron comments. Yeah, well, then I wasn't talking to you, Jacob. I was just letting everyone know what's going on. But I appreciate you being here. My brother's name is Jacob. Is that you? Get on out of there. See, that punch will sit in there by itself. She ain't gonna do that. Oh, there it goes. All right, now this can come off. Now, there we go. There's the axle. I'll show you, and then all I gotta do is get it out. Thanks, Blake. I like making videos. Still doing Q&As. Yeah, Chris, I'll probably be here for another 20 minutes. I'm just about to get this axle out. So hopefully that goes well. We'll see. I'm gonna set you guys back up over here, see if I can change your angle with this. Too icky here. All right, give me just a second. If this is wobbly, I'm gonna straighten this camera angle out. All right, let's see how that looks. Can you see me? Yeah, there's the axle. Close enough. Any more questions? Let's see. Let's move them over here. Yeah, Philly says when he does work outside, it makes him want to lift even more. I agree. Yeah, still Q&As, whoever's asking. Till I'm done out here, till the video's over, I'll answer questions while I'm working. Let's see. So I have a really cool tool to get out axles. Let's just try and use that first. It is a little axle grabber for the end of this slide hammer. You might be a little close there. Let me back you up. All right. Kind of hard using a phone to do this, but I guess you live and you learn. Can you see that? Good enough. Here's this slide hammer. I'll hold it up for you. I always open these upside down. I literally just said that. All right, this is all I want. I just want my normal slide hammer and this, the attachment to remove an axle. Is there a part number on that? Maybe. You can find them at AutoZone or wherever. Slides right behind an axle. Pops it off. Clean all this up afterwards. Okay, slide this on the end and I'll find a question right before I do this to answer. Oh, you ever heard of axle poppers? Is this it, Philly? An axle popper? Maybe, I don't know. I've heard of this one. All right, let's go ahead. I've got to get this behind the axle here, like so. Oh no, I jammed it. Okay, just like that. And then with a normal slide hammer, I can just pop this out. Hopefully, sometimes it takes a lot of muscle. So if I go at this for about 5 minutes and it's not coming out, I'll just take a break, answer some questions, and end the video after that. So let's see. Maybe just put a lock-in nut on this just to keep it from spinning. That ain't the right size. Looks like that's too disorganized to do that now, so just try and pop it off. All right, question while I do this. 2016 Hyundai, can't close right passenger, push the hook that latch the door and can't get it back. Put a screwdriver in that little latch and have someone or yourself open the handle while you put a screwdriver in that little latch and open it, or even your finger, but a screwdriver is, make sure you don't pinch yourself or whatever. That's how you do that. All right, let me move this tire way under here. I've got a jack stand. There's a jack stand under here, so let's see if I can get this in a spot first. I'll just get this there. The axle separated and get this on. All right, tight space. I'm gonna take this end off and put it on first, and then I'll screw it together. Watch your teeth. It's about to come off. Oh, I'm screwing it on. Dang it. Ooh. Ooh. That's what I'm talking about. What can I go from the top? Well, I have the room. Because if not, I'm just gonna grab my sledgehammer and try to smack this thing out of here. Let me do that now before I make this more complicated. Not budging with that hammer, but you gotta have a lift to be able to smack them well with a hammer like that. No pry bar. Good idea. Let's try that. The problem is, though, on this driver's side axle on these Hondas, it's not a normal axle. So pry bar would work really well on the other side. There's like a little carrier right here, and I think a pry bar may work. Let's try it, but may not. Plus, I don't really have the room to pry well under there, being so close to the ground. Yeah, ain't gonna be any prying on here very well. Bust my elbow. No, but I might get that popper on there. Let's try that. It's just gonna take a minute longer than the other things. Let's see. Yeah, pry bars work well on normal axles and on a lift. But I've never had good luck with axles on the ground. I mean, the pry bars on the ground, getting axles out, so. Yeah, it's fun. Just part of the game. See if I can get this on there enough. Yeah. It's not budging. It's not budging yet. Maybe it will. This is the stuff you guys don't normally get to see in the videos, the 20 minutes of fighting with something stuck. Let's see if that budged it. Oh yeah, it's almost out. Come look at this. That worked like a dream, a charm and a dream, a team, teamwork. All right. Yeah, it's coming out. Now we're cooking with peanut oil. Ugh. Breathing heavy. All right, someone opened their own shop, having trouble denying jobs. Yeah, it's tough whenever you need the money. Let's see what else that said. Jobs you don't want to do. I decline engine swaps. How do I decline jobs when they come my way? Well, I just tell people I'm busy. I'll be like, oh no, I can't do it for like 2 weeks, or it's gonna cost. I mean, if you're having to do something that you don't want to do, just charge what it's worth. If it's not, you don't want to do it because you're not making enough money, probably charge more money. If they don't want to take the job or take you on as like their mechanic, that's their choice. But if it's not worth it for you to do it at a certain price, just charge a little more. Yes. Oh, I'm so glad that came out. All right, we're gonna be done soon here then. Then I'll answer a few more questions and hopefully get my breath back. That's exciting though. I'm glad that came out. Junk. Let's see if we can hear any issues going on here. Nothing crazy, just an old beat up axle. All right. Rubber mallet. Get that in going in. There's a phone. All right. Yeah, normally I talk to myself way more when I'm working than you guys probably know. So you might be getting a glimpse of that. As I talk myself to this. All right, there it goes. Use the axle itself. All right, that popped all the way in. Let's see if we can get this over here. Just right into here, that should be easy. Get this lower strut bolt on and bolt it back together. I bet we're done in 5 more minutes here. Let me answer a question while I finish. Let's see, I'm about to start a mobile mechanic business. Really appreciate your channel, experience, know what to expect. Thanks, keep up the videos. That's great. Good luck starting your mobile mechanic business. It's super fun and I've never regretted it. Come on, get over. Normally I'd put never sees on this stuff, but we're in Utah. There's no need. Okay, my arms are getting tired though. Do I have customer pay for parts in advance? Yeah, I do. I mean, I have a good reputation now, especially with YouTube. If people find me on Google, I'll refer them to my YouTube channel just so they know I'm reliable. And then I'll tell them up front, hey, you pay for the parts and then pay for the labor when I'm done. That way I don't have to be out of pocket going to AutoZone or whatever. I never have to worry about it. So I recommend that. But if people don't trust you, yeah, I mean, just make sure you get their keys and a good contract or whatever, but you can pay for parts up front for yourself, that's fine. Just don't let them take the car with them with the parts on. When I'm tightening these on, I know I mentioned I would spin the bolt itself to loosen them in case there's rust on it, season it up. To tighten it down, I'll just use the nut. That doesn't make a difference to me. Let's see if I can hold it still in my hand. No, where's that wrench? Good enough. Good enough. Last one, and a cotter pin. Amazon parts are good, just watch the brand. That's good to know. I bought a few things off Amazon. For whoever needed to know that, maybe you'll answer someone else's question. Let's see. Yeah, how am I doing? Almost done with this repair, so great. It is great. Get this lower ball joint into its spot, and we'll put the tire on and be done. Most excellently. There it goes. And gonna need to grab a cotter pin as well. for the pin. And let's grab that. Gets in here. I have a big old AutoZone bin of random stuff that I used to have a buddy who worked at AutoZone and he gave me a bunch of old broken junk or old bins like this that they're gonna throw out. So that was fun. That's where I got this. And a guy from O'Reilly's gave me one time too as well. DeWalt or Milwaukee? Does that answer your question? Milwaukee. I don't have anything against DeWalt, but a few years ago when I first started buying power tools, I asked myself the question of what I wanted to own in the future. And I thought Milwaukee would have the largest base supply of tools you could hook their batteries up to, meaning like a lawnmower, a weed eater, stuff like that, not just power tools. That's why I went with Milwaukee ultimately. All right, let's get this cotter pin on and then the tire on. All right, that's that. Clean this stuff out from underneath, get the tire on, and I'll answer a few more questions. Thanks, everyone. I'm not going to use a torque wrench because it's my car, so say what you want in the comments, but just know that I'm not going to. You know what though? I remember seeing my socket for these roll all the way across the driveway. Let me go grab it. Yeah, Milwaukee and Snap-on. Yeah, Snap-on's cool. I just have never worked in a shop while I've been out here, so I don't have a Snap-on guy come by. And I figured I wouldn't invite him and just spare myself the expense. Jack stand out. It'll be a job well done. Whew. All right, let me grab this phone and answer a few questions from y'all, and we'll call that good. Let me sit down in the shade though. Chair. Here's some shade. All right. How much would I charge for an engine swap in a Honda? I don't know. I'd just look it up on All Data, but for just labor, it's got to be over $1,000 surely. I don't know. I don't do engine swaps, so it's been a while. Let's see what we got here. Anybody else? 100,000 mile 2015 Mustang worth buying? Depends on the price, but 100,000 miles. It's got a lot of life left in it. What am I studying in school? I just finished going to school. I ended up switching to human development because I wanted to be a better parent. So, hey, from the UK, bicycle mechanic, small stuff on your wife's car. Oh yeah, I've seen some mobile bike repair guys and mobile snowboard and ski repair guys as well, so that's pretty cool. My wife's car had a bad axle. I was going to the junkyard a few days ago for the Jeep project I've been working on. I've got to find a few random things for it, and this junkyard's at the entrance at the bottom of this really steep hill and a really sharp, like 180-degree right turn. I kind of came out of it off the brakes a little fast, turned a real sharp right, and just smacked the gas. The axle's been bad for years. It'll vibrate pretty bad under acceleration, heavy acceleration. So when I hit that turn and I accelerated out of it, it just boom, I thought I ripped the axle out right there. And on the way home, I thought I was gonna drop it out from underneath the car, but it somehow stayed in. So that's what we did. Yep, the Jeep project's coming along. Hopefully I'll have it running within the next few weeks and videos coming out in a few months on that, within the next few months. But that's kind of what I want to end up being our daily driver and maybe turning this into a project or whatever. So was it hard? It was a little bit harder to get the axle out than I thought it was going to be, but luckily it didn't take too long. Best way to advertise your small business, Google Ads. I always paid like $400 a month for ads, but I'd make that much on 2 jobs on average. So if I could get more than 2 jobs a month from Google Ads, it totally justified paying for itself. So totally just pay for ads. I would get 10 calls a day when I was paying for ads on Google. So that's the way to go. Let's get a few more questions. Well, let me just grab the holder for this thing. Maybe it will be more comfortable to answer a few questions for a minute without my arm pulling off. Get out of there. There it goes. Facebook groups get you a lot of customers. I never found any customers on Facebook groups. Oh yeah, I did. I was gonna say I found them on Marketplace, but technically they got listed through Marketplace. I would put them on like the yard sale groups and Facebook pages, like local yard sale page and stuff. And I would get like, one time I had like over 400 messages from one of those ads. All right, I can hold that a little better. Let's see what someone said about spark plugs right there. Mark, video about, remembers the video about my wife changing spark plugs. That's awesome, Mark. That's my wife's favorite video. And she was actually just talking to me last night that she wants to learn how to fix cars with me. And I think it all started from that first video. So that's cool. You remember that, Mark. I remember it too. Someone gets all theirs through Facebook and Google. Yeah, that's what I did. Yeah, thanks one Toyota Master for liking the videos. Best car and best truck. Okay, cool, Christian. Those are great questions. That's like 3 different questions. The best car, in my opinion, overall best, Nissan GT-R. I think, like I said, I used to work for Nissan, so I'm not saying that there's never been a car designed better, but I love GT-R, so I'll probably end up building one day. Best truck, I like mini trucks only. I don't like big old trucks, so any mini truck's cool. Old Nissan mini truck. I'll probably build another one of those one day. And yeah, the next project, I don't know. I've got so many ideas for projects. There's the Jeep. I'm gonna probably, when my wife gets that Jeep as her daily, I'll probably turn this into a race car because it's got a B series engine. And then I've got some stuff sitting around here that I may do stuff with as well. So I've got plenty of stuff to do right now. I'm trying to I finished school and really couldn't focus on YouTube much for a year. So I'm trying to just build up a base of like, okay, I have videos to put out, content. I have enough saved up where I can invest in projects. If you guys want to help, you can donate at the links in the description. But at this point, I'm basically just short on funds. So that's why I'm not doing projects. The motorhome, oh shoot, yeah, that motorhome, I sold it. I built it, we traveled in it for a month 2 Christmases ago, and then I sold it when I got back. I made about $10,000 on that motorhome. When I bought it for like $1,500, put $3,000 into it, and I sold it for $1,500. So all the wooden stuff I put in there is maybe a little more than that, but that was such a great project. Oh, Freon can cause idle issues. Yeah, too much Freon can cause idle issues. That's for sure. I like Ford. I like all cars. Ford's probably one of the brands I would put down lower on the list of like my favorite brands, but I couldn't say there's a brand. I mean, when it comes to tractors, I'm the same way too. Kubota, Massey Ferguson, Ford, John Deere. I just like them all. I like playing with stuff. Do I double check my work? I do. If I don't, I get really anxious. I'll be laying in bed at night, going over the jobs in my head if I don't double check them, so it's best to just take my time. How do I figure out evap leaks? I send them to the dealership and then I tell them I'll give them a quote. I don't deal with those right now. So yeah, that's how I deal with those. All right, let's go a few more minutes here, maybe to the 40-minute mark. Thanks for everybody for watching. This has been an awesome video. It's been great to just get back out and talk with you guys. So yeah, thanks Hadfield Entertainment. Hope you have a good day too. Come and swap updates. Ooh, there's gonna be a video so soon on that, so soon. So keep in mind, yeah, keep subscribe, just turn on the bell, whatever. Cummins update soon. Whatever happens with the Cummins in the next couple of days is gonna be a good video. So yeah, mini truck. Oh, B4000, the Mazdas, those are cool. Oh yeah, vacuum leaks, they're yeah, on those old trucks. I was plagued with those on my old Nissan as well, Christian. But when I finally found it, it was just underneath, a pretty big vacuum leak. Ran great, so worth finding, but when you got the time. Well, thanks everybody for watching. This was a job well done. Consider donating, the links in the description if you want to help out, see these projects sooner. Subscribe and like means a ton to me. I'll answer one more question, then we'll sign out here. Yeah, I know what you're saying. Work for tools. You lay there in the bed at night overthinking. Okay, let's see. Here's the last question. What would you recommend for a low cost, versatile OBD2 under 200 bucks? Well, we'll do one more after that. Just check out the videos. It just really depends on what you want. I don't know if I could be the best. If you're a pro, buy an expensive one. If you're a DIYer, buy a cheap one. If you like working on cars a lot and you're a DIYer, buy one in the middle somewhere. So, okay, let's see. Anything else here? One more. We'll pick a... I got a new engine, the AC system installed on my One Ranger. I've been having idle issues ever since. Yeah, if you can't figure it out, Jose, don't waste days and days and days. Just take it to somebody that you trust and pay them 100, 200 bucks for a good diagnosis. That's the best thing I can recommend to people when I feel like they're in over their head is, hey, at this point, you may end up spending more money just on the next part you try and install than you would for a diagnosis. So if you feel like you're not quite sure and you're about to install a part, maybe have someone double check it. Well, thanks for watching, everybody. We got this job done. That was great. I'm a little warm, so I'm gonna go eat some lunch and take a break. Subscribe, and I'll see you on the next episode. That's a job well done.